What is up, my possum friends? We got training camps starting up here in no time, so you better be prepping for football. We are Offensive Points, and today we are talking the AFC South, and we're also doing a little IDP Army reunion here. We got Jordan Rains with us. Jordan, how you doing, man?
Doing good, fellas. I guess that wasn't really my Trump dance. It's more like this, right? But yeah,
hands are lower.
Living large in 2025. Go Texans.
Did you switch teams again? It's really hard for me to determine because there's the Chiefs.
I three already. Recently, all teams matter, so all 32 teams. I'm just
all teams matter.
Yeah, that's not really okay to say in this time day and age.
All 32 teams. Let's go, baby.
You need one of those just like NFL hats, like Rob Lowe had that one year.
No, I don't want to support the big man.
No, that was pretty great when Rob Lowe just wore an NFL hat. He's like, I don't have a team. I'm here. I'm here because I can afford it.
I'm here for the referees. Like they're doing a hell of a job out there.
Yeah, all teams matter.
Do you remember the replacement refs? Those were the days, man.
Yep.
They're still somehow better than the regular refs.
It does feel that way. All right, Josh, do you have? I know you usually have something. So, do you have anything going on in your life?
I met my county counselor the other day. He came over to my house, and there's this property whole dispute or whatever. Literally called him, came over in 10 minutes. Really great guy. And then I went on a walk like later that day and almost got in a fight with my neighbor. So like it's just, dude, wild west out here, man. You gotta really just watch out what's going on. Like sometimes you'll meet some really nice people. Sometimes they'll try to fight you on a walk with your son. So,
wow, that sounds like a problem.
It was a day, man. It was a day.
It definitely sounds like it. All right. Well, as Joe said, we are talking the AFC South this week. But before we get to the AFC South, I do feel like we need to go back and talk about the Najee Harris thing again. We previewed the division last week. We talked about the Chargers. We said the eye was a no big deal. He's starting the season on the NFI list, non-football injury list.
Training camp, but yeah.
Joe, have you felt any differently about Najee Harris?
Well, I still don't know what the hell's going on with his eyes, so no, not really. I mean, if it's just a scratch and they're like he has an eye patch on or something and can't see to run the football, then, that's coming off in a couple weeks. We're good. I still think he starts the season and Omarion Hampton takes it from there. But if it is serious and he is going to be put on a PUP list at some point and miss some games of the season, then Omarion Hampton to the moon. But as of right now, it hasn't changed it for me.
So can he play with one eye? JPP played with like 6 fingers. I mean,
the eye thing seems like a much bigger issue than a couple of fingers. I don't know.
I feel like it really depends on how far his nose comes out. Because like my nose sticks out a little bit and like the one eye, like the peripheral kind of gets messed up. But if you had like a smaller, squished more nose or a smaller nose in general, might be able to see to the right a little bit more, or whatever eye it is. I don't know.
I feel like that would like massively disrupt his field awareness.
But you're just a boulder, right? So you're just running straight.
Yeah, he's
We're
not
acting
really
like he has good vision to begin with.
He doesn't need vision. He's just going to run downhill.
But you're saying that this might actually help him. Like
it might.
Having one eye might actually help.
Yeah, he's been confused. Both eyes is too much information for a guy like Najee, but with one eye, he's going to be going places.
I think there's a chance that the one eye actually works out. But at the moment, they said that it's superficial in nature. Nobody knows anything about it. That's what.
Well, I just feel like if he's starting training camp on the non-football injury list, that just makes me feel like, I don't know, maybe it is a little bit more than just a scratch or something. Maybe
it's hard to tell.
It would be hilarious if he showed up to his first day of practice with an eye patch on, just to fuck with.
I'm getting that shirt made immediately. He does
the Najee eye patch shirt.
Yeah,
for sure.
You have. Plenty of way you could like name your fantasy football team name after Najee with this eye patch.
Yeah, Joe has pretty well exhausted every one-eyed joke that you could possibly make about the situation.
I teed it up, Joe. I thought you were gonna go ahead and take it, but you didn't take it.
I mean, I can run through the list. It's not.
I mean, you might as well. We're here, right? But at the end of the day, I think what it really does is this just kind of cements Omarion Hampton, and it's going to be a bit of a bump. I was kind of hoping to get him more discounted, but a little worried about that stock now. Let's draft.
He's going high now.
Yeah, he is. You're going to go through the list?
Did you say high or I? He's going high now? Or
he's going higher than he should be. We got I Patch Adams,
Okay.
Fetty Wap, the one-eyed monster. There is no I in team. Blinded by the lights. Lieutenant Dan, but with an eye injury. Slick Rick, still doing better than Quinshawn. I only have I for you. Cyclops, and then my favorite is Najee Harris.
Najee. The last two were the best. Cyclops and
Could have been
Najee.
not I Harris, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can do a lot. You can do a lot with that one. Anyway,
Well,
so just some team names out there if you do end up drafting Najee Harris. At least you heard it here first. You know,
Joe has already got them on lock. Okay, all right. Before we get to the division, though, still I feel like we at least need to mention the Quinshawn Judkins thing. We just did our Scott Fishbowl draft this past weekend, and in KC, it was a lot of fun, great time, good to see a lot of people out there. Did not affect his ADP at all. It did not really affect his ADP at all in that draft. Do we think an actual redraft? That one's a little weird with the scoring because it's pretty much all super flex. So, like, you know, you're just taking a scoop full of players on your team. But in actual drafts, do you think that it will affect his draft stock?
I think in redraft, yeah, because Scott Fishbowl's heavily on the running back. What is it? Half a point per carry. So,
yeah.
Thinking if Judkins does play, you're going to assume that there's a pretty heavy workload, the Nick Chubb workload going to Judkins. Now, this whole issue obviously is a whole other story that I'm not touching with the 10-foot pole, but yeah, I don't think in redraft. I think it kills his stock. I mean, we're talking 8th, 9th round at this point. Like Travion will jump him, and Omarion probably already has if he wasn't already. So,
did you or did you not proudly take Quinshawn Judkins and Scott Fishbowl and announce it to the entire bar that you were happy about it?
I actually went over to the other side and said that fucking dumbass drafted Judkins in the 5th. What is he doing? It was me. No, I mean, dude, I'm playing fantasy football, man. At the end of the day, like, you know, just drafting players to put on a team.
Bingo.
He then changed his player name to Aled Judd Lee, which is
Jesus.
I was in a different league, but yes, I did do that.
I don't know. That would be the fastest court case to ever happen on the planet if anything was set in stone by the time the season starts. We see this all the time. He's probably going to play, and I mean, he's going to be the starter for Cleveland. So it's shitty, but
it's kind of wild how much they made an
fantasy
example out of Kareem Hunt and Ray Rice and all those people who had domestic abuse charges.
Well, there's no video. The video is pretty much
I understand that
Kareem
Hunt's and Ray Rice's were both terrible, and that's the thing that sucks is that, like,
I mean, they're all bad.
More for morally,
there's no video.
It's just if there's no video, then they're probably going to not get suspended or like settle out of court or whatever, and it's kind of a sad world we live in with that, and it's like,
Jordan, are you happy that you came back for this one?
Yeah.
I'm fine, man. I'm having a good
Jordan,
time.
how do you feel about the inner workings of this complex Quinshawn Judkins matter?
Of the legal situation? You know,
exactly,
I'm not
the
a lawyer.
moral and how everything.
You know, I would just say to all the men and women out there listening, keep your hands to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Use your words.
Like he tells his kids.
That's it. Use your words.
Sounds like great parenting advice. Yeah, no, it's sad. You know, the worst part is the Twitter comments, man. For one, Twitter's undefeated as it is, but all the people you can tell who drafted Quinshawn Judkins in fantasy football, and they're like, no, you know, he's innocent. I don't know what that she's lying and stuff. And I'm like, why are you posting that on the internet? Like, that is just wild to me. I was like, we have no idea what happened here. Obviously,
I did love the amount of people that as soon as that thing gets brought up and like posted, there's this certain contingent of people that immediately are like, buy the dip. Like, they're just going nuts. And it's like, calm down. Like, okay, like, can we get through the actual details of the whole thing first before we start with the fantasy football analysis? Crazy.
No, dude, fantasy football over everything on Twitter, dude.
We have to immediately figure out how this relates to our fantasy football teams.
It's true. I saw even apologies for how quick people were to make fantasy football advice based on this. But it's just, man, fantasy football community, it's like nothing else.
Slightly toxic and slightly loving at the same time.
Everybody has to be first, and it's just like, well, that's just so wild. Okay, well, with that being said, let's get to the AFC South. So The AFC South sucks. I mean, I'm just going to be the one to say it. I hate this division. It always feels like 3 of the 4 teams are usually irrelevant. Aiden, you can just mix and match the order based on the year. And I don't know if it's that much different this year. So I have the worst team, so I'm going to start out first. That is the Tennessee Titans. Look, I am very hopeful for this team in fantasy football. I'm very hopeful for them in dynasty. I think there's going to be some things you can get out of this, but as far as redraft goes, it's a little light. So we got Calvin Ridley going right now. We'll start with the wide receivers. Calvin Ridley's going. It's wide receiver 35, 72 overall, about the 7th round. I do like that for him. I think with an upgrade at quarterback, which I think Cam Ward could be, that actually will help him out a little bit more than what he was doing last year with Will Levis and the gang. I'm just going to call the rest of the people that were on that team, Mason Rudolph and them. So I do think that's going to help him out a bit. After that, it's kind of a sad state of affairs. So Tyler Lockett's here to end his career. He's the latest veteran wide receiver to end his career with Tennessee. He's going as wide receiver 84. It's basically undrafted. It's about the 17th round. So, I mean, dart throws, am I right? They also have Van Jefferson. He's the lowest. He's currently a starter, but I think that job gets taken by either Elic Anamanor or Xavier Restrepo. If you're going off the rankings as they stand right now, people think Elic Anamanor has the upper hand as he's wide receiver 83 just before Tyler Lockett. And then Xavier Restrepo is wide receiver 103, which is undrafted. Anamanor is pretty much undrafted. It's just a sad thing that's going on here with this wide receiver room. So I think Calvin Ridley is really the only one that you're going to want to know. Running back wise, you got Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. Tony Pollard is going in the 7th round. Tajay Spears is going in the 11th. I think that seems about right. I do think there's going to be a little bit more of a bounce back this year when it comes to the running game than last year. Last year was just bad. It was just a bad team, and there was a reason they had the number 1 overall pick. Speaking of that number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward is going as QB 27, 175 overall, which, again, basically undrafted. So if you want to take a dart throw on a quarterback that's for sure going to start for the entire season, I think you could do a lot worse. I wouldn't mind him being my quarterback 2 if I'm, get one of the top guys. He's a guy I could throw on the end of my bench. I mean, it worked out with Jaden Daniels. They're not quite the same player, but I do think you're going to get some value out of it. And then Chig Okoronkwo is the tight end. Going as tight end 24. Way late. We're talking 15th, 16th round. And I feels about right. I guess we just going to need to see what Cam Ward can do, because that's kind of – I feel like most of these ADPs are kind of baked into not knowing exactly how Cam Ward's going to fare. In college at Miami, he was really good. He was in college for 4 years before he got to Miami. So, how good is that? I don't know. Sometimes these guys will come in with experience. It's actually a good thing. Sometimes we don't know. So I guess it's kind of just wait and see a little bit. I don't think other than Calvin Ridley and maybe Tony Pollard, I would feel comfortable taking anybody on this team. And even them in the 7th round, I don't know if I would go that direction either. So I don't know. Do you guys feel like this offense, like there's some gold here that needs to be dug out? Because I don't know. I'm not sold.
Yeah, I think Spears needs to be rostered. I mean, and drafted as well. Sorry, I should say. He was actually pretty efficient at the end of the year and had some pretty late season success. And I have to think that this is going to end up being more of a split workload. Like Pollard to me in the 5th, 6th round is just not it for me. I don't know what this team's going to be. I'd love Cam Ward to be it because it's sad seeing the Titans draft their 5th quarterback in a row. That sucks. Hopefully this is not the case. I'd love to see Nashville and Tennessee do well. But Spears had some late season success, and Pollard is, I hate to say it, he's getting older and just kind of a one-trick pony. He's still got flashes and he still gets carries. But if this ends up as more of a split backfield, Tajay Spears might be a steal.
Yeah, I think you're right on Spears. I would also say, Chig had 28 targets in the last 3 games he played last year. I think, especially with Cam Ward coming in there, Billy, I think you're right. I think Chig is a good target for where he's going right now. Could be a high-volume guy.
Yeah, the only guy on the Titans that I'm really interested in personally is Ward himself. Just 'cause I feel like that's kind of it's the unknown, but also, I mean, he's the first round pick. He's the number 1 pick. He's the guy that has the most upside. I mean, I don't, like it's like Billy was describing, it's kind of just like a desolate wasteland of a roster, Even their best player is somebody, I mean, like, and that's I think we can maybe all agree Cam Ward's probably their best offensive player. We've never even seen him play football in the NFL.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, yeah,
Calvin
we'll
Ridley
see.
might be. Well, we don't know. Yeah.
I think Ridley
But
will be
yeah,
fine,
but there's just nothing exciting there. And so from a fantasy perspective, I just don't see a lot of points being scored there fantasy wise. So I'm kind of just off the whole team entirely right now.
He's going at Ridley's going exactly where he finished last year at wide receiver 28. I don't hate that. I mean, it's not really a buy or anything, but it's fine if you end up
a
with
player like that isn't even likely to see your roster. I mean, you might flex him 2 or 3 times a season if you have to. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
depends how you play.
3.
The problem with Ridley is he's going too high, in my opinion, for my liking. I mean, it says, wide receiver 28, wide receiver 30, but I mean, he's going earlier than that in a lot of situations. And you can get Trayvon Henderson. I mean, you can get Pickens, you can get Jalen Waddle, Godwin, Pacheco, Johnson around that. Like, I'm not going to have him on my team. If he was going a little later, I'd be all over it because I think he's going to have a huge season.
That's fair. Okay, well, I'll touch on the defense real quick. Jeffrey Simmons finished last year's DL 14. I do think that is it's very solid guy that you might want on your team, even from the D tackle spot. And then Cody Barton is another guy. He's not going to finish high, but he did get a lot of tackles last year, so I do think he is a guy I would probably take as well. I do like Xavier Woods too, coming over from Carolina. I do think that from the free safety spot, he can probably put up some good numbers. So I don't know. This team is just, I don't love it. Don't love it. Just being honest. Don't think you're going to get a lot of points from some of these other guys. I just don't. Never been.
Cody Barton's going to be such a steal in drafts, though. He's always overlooked.
And I feel like people are going to take Arden Key too high because that happens, feels like every year.
It's a cool name.
That's a cool name.
It is a cool name, but I don't know. I just not a big fan. All right, well, we'll get off this team. They are 5.5 over under.
All right. They start off against the Broncos. Then they have the Rams, the Colts, the Texans, the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Patriots, the Colts, the Chargers, the Texans, the Seahawks, the Jaguars, the Browns, the 49ers, the Chiefs, the Saints, and Jacksonville again.
Hell no.
I think they can do it.
I think they can win 5. They play the Browns. I heard the Browns in there as a win.
Saints and the Browns are the free spaces.
Those are the only. Yeah, those were gimmies. I didn't hear any other.
I think this team is as bad as like the Browns. I think the Browns and the Titans are like
equally as bad.
I think the good thing about this team is like it might not be a fantasy football team. Like we're not like excited about having these players on our team, but I think that together, if Cam Ward can be a good quarterback, this can be a good team. Like they have depth at wide receiver. They got those 2 rookies. They still have Traylon Burks. I understand it hasn't worked out for them, and then they got their starters. So there is depth at this team. They got depth at the running back position too. I mean, I like to see this kind of team for team play, but yeah, I don't really want them for fantasy football. But I think 5 wins isn't impossible for them. I could see them doing better than that even.
Well, 6 would be over. So 6-12 would be their, or 6 and.
That's fine. I think they'll
11.
They sound like a 3 to 4 win team to me.
I think they're going to be right 1 first or second pick in next year's draft. I think the Saints have the clear 1 shot to be the number 1 overall pick, but I feel like the Titans are going to be kind of right behind them, to be honest.
Fair.
Sadly. But okay. All right. Well, Jordan's got to get out of here in a little bit, so we're going to go to the Texans. A little bit out of order, but he's wearing the hoodie. So, Jordan, tell us about.
All
the
right,
Texans.
we'll go with the Texans, and actually, I think Josh kind of said something there with Cam Ward. I feel like Cam Ward, if he could do something kind of like C.J. Stroud did for the Houston, because 3 years ago, we were talking about Houston in a very similar way. We were just talking about the Titans. Nothing really there, nothing exciting going on. Not really any players on either side of the ball we're really interested in. then CJ Stroud comes along, and then Nico Collins starts doing good. Tank Dell kind of popped off. They added, and then the team just starts elevating. So hopefully Cam Ward can do something like that for the Titans. That would be, interesting. But to come back to Houston, CJ Stroud did not have as good a season as he had his rookie year. Came down a little bit, but I think a lot of that was really the touchdown totals. I think we thought they'd go up a lot more. He went from 23 his rookie season to only 20 last year. He doesn't have a lot of guys to throw the ball to realistically. So, he's shown that he can throw the ball downfield when he needs to. He's had multiple 300-yard games, things like that. But he just doesn't have the receivers yet, I don't think, to have like 25 to 35 touchdowns kind of in his bag every season. Now, Nico Collins has been ascending, and he did miss, 4 or 5 games last season, and he still hit 1,000 yards. So, I have to believe that if Nico Collins played the rest of the season, CJ Stroud probably would have hit closer to 25, would have been more touchdowns than the 20 he had. So that is something to look positively about for CJ Stroud. Also, he doesn't rush for a lot of yards, but he did have 52 attempts last year. That's not nothing. You know what I mean? So he also had no rushing touchdowns last season. He had 3 his rookie season. So those numbers could come up. I think overall right now he's QB. I was looking on just Fantasy Pros, a consensus, but he's like QB 19. And I think he's around QB 18, 19 on Sleeper Draft too. And I think that this might be the lowest you're going to see CJ Stroud probably for a while, if he can kind of come through this season, which I think he will. The receivers, he's got Nico Collins, who everybody loves, and they got the rookie Jaden Higgins, who I don't know a whole lot about, but I did draft him, I think, in both of my main primary dynasty leagues, so I'm pretty excited to see how he does. He feels like he has a similar sort of play style to Nico Collins, but I don't know exactly if that's true or not. So I don't know if they'll be competing or if they'll be able to, like, one of them to be a big slot, and one will be outside, or how they're gonna work that out. But I think Nico Collins already 26. If Jaden Higgins does have a good season, I think people are gonna start letting Nico Collins slide. Kind of the way that when Chris Godwin started kind of ascending, people just ignored Mike Evans literally in the prime of his career. And you could draft him as like wide receiver 30 for like 3 years in a row for no reason. So I think that if you don't have Nico Collins right now, I wouldn't go to rush to get him. He's still like 26. I think there's a lot of meat left on the bone. Kind of see how this one plays out. I think people are valuing him really high right now too. He's like a top 12 wide receiver consensus, I think, pretty easily. I think some people have him even higher than that. I think that 12 is kind of a safe spot in my mind. But we'll just have to see about that. And then Tank Dell, I'm only going to bring him up because I have him on a lot of rosters. I really hope that he does come back from his injury. I don't think he's going back this year because of the late nature of the injury he had last year. It was like December. It wouldn't surprise me if he sat out this entire season. But I don't think he's done playing NFL football yet. Not yet. I could be wrong about that, but when he was playing well enough to – even when he went out this last year, he was still averaging like 4 catches a game and like almost 50 yards. There's a lot of NFL players I see play every Sunday that don't average 4 catches and 50 yards. So, I still think that there's something potentially there. And then I saw Christian Kirk's on the team. I don't really have a strong opinion about Christian Kirk. I know he was with the Jags for a while, and that was when he had his best seasons. He's also with the Cardinals, but we kind of know what he is. And I don't think there's a lot of upside with him. I'd be interested in what you guys think. He did have one wide receiver 14 game last year, so I guess he still got a little juice, but he went out with an injury and missed most of the season. So running back wise, Mixon and Chubb is a really interesting combo to me. I think Mixon's gonna kind of just repeat what he did last year, but I don't think that Chubb is just kind of a completely wipe him off. You know what I mean? I could easily see Nick Chubb getting out there regularly in games, and getting 9 carries, 11 carries every single game. And a lot of those will probably be around the goal line. So that might hurt Mixon a little bit. But again, the injury and with the age, we'll just have to see how that works out. But if he is healthy, and let's say Mixon does go out, Nick Chubb in a full, workload situation is not something you don't want to necessarily be a part of, especially for the first time in his whole life. He's not with the literal worst organization in the entire NFL. So Maybe he'll get maybe he'll pull out his best Derrick Henry impersonation and be like, I can still run for 1,600 yards, guys. And I'm fine. I'm actually fine. So we'll have to see if that's the situation. But that's kind of their offense. They also have Dalton Schultz, who he's had over 80, like almost 90 targets each of the last 3 seasons. So again, I think CJ Stroud is going to see an increase in his touchdowns. I think a lot of these guys are right on the edge of being pretty top tier. But I think Schultz, I think he only had like 3 or 5 touchdowns last year. I think he could flirt with 8 to 10 this year because again, he's getting like almost 90 targets. So that's their offense.
I absolutely hate the back half of the second round or the first round this year in drafts, like the Nico Collins, Neighbors, Brian Thomas. I don't want to touch that in the first round. Like that should, to me, I feel like that should all be second round picks. Like I love Nico Collins.
Neighbors?
Neighbors is the top 4 pick.
You said Neighbors? Like Malik Neighbors?
Yeah. Malik Neighbors, who has Russell Wilson throwing the football.
Should be a second round pick.
Hateful.
Okay.
People undervalue running backs, man. This is the time of the Genties and the Jonathan Taylors and the Josh Jacobs. I don't know. Just something about Nico to me this year specifically. We'll hone in on that. We can get to these other things later. We know he's gonna get a workload, but like at the end of the day, he's good. Like he's good. He's not a first round talent. I have him on many teams. I love drafting Nico. 1,200 yards the year before, 1,000 yards this year. Sure, if he's fully healthy, it's 1,400 yards, but he's not really the touchdown guy. Like that's not his role. Now you add Nick Chubb, who's going to be rumbling and stumbling into a lot of end zones. I hate it. I hate having to draft Nico in the first round. I probably won't end up with him on a lot of my teams.
It was much more palatable when he was like a 22.
Second, third round. Like that's easy. Like I'll take him all day, but getting him in the first just feels like a reach to me. I don't know. I'm worried about it. I'd love to see him be what the best Nico Collins he can be and stay fully healthy. And
I wouldn't use the first round. I wouldn't take him in the first round either, personally. At 26, I mean, even in redraft, that's like you said, without knowing that he can hit, 10 to 12 touchdowns, that's a second or third round guy.
And this seems a little sketchy because of the offensive line too. I mean, Stroud got hit a ton last year and somehow worse this year. So that's the reason you brought up Christian Kirk. I like Christian Kirk because I think he's going to play in the slot a ton. I think he's going to get a lot of those dump offs because Stroud's going to be running for his life behind this line. So Kirk's going to wide receiver 58. He can be your 4th, 5th wide receiver. And I think you're getting a guy that can put up 15 points each week.
I liked Kirk until they got Higgins and Noel. Like,
yeah,
that worries me. John Mechie's still huffing around. Xavier Hutchinson's for some reason still on this team. They just added Justin Watson.
They still have Dameon Pierce too. Remember him?
They do have Dameon Pierce. Yeah, I love Dameon Pierce personally. I think he could be a starter in the league. But this team
can he just get traded, please?
Just get him off this team, man. You're gonna bring Nick Chubb and just destroy him. But
they should bring Dameon Pierce over to the Eagles. I think that would be just.
I'd be about it. He'd waste away behind Saquon.
Yeah, they need a running back.
They do.
You mean the SB winner of Best Athlete of the Year? Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Never heard of him.
Prestigious award there.
It's a very prestigious award.
When does that come on? Is that Tuesdays at 6?
Today.
It's happening right now. Shane Gillis is hosting, I guess. I don't know. I just happened to see it because I get every Eagles news possible. So
I feel like you just feel it. You just feel things around you, and you're like,
Saquon
won an SB tonight, and it's like, wow, how did he know?
I actually literally told Kristen that, and she looked at me like I was stupid, and then I go, I don't know why people watch these shows. But to be fair, it's the same way with the Grammys and the Oscars for me as well. I don't really care.
That's fair enough.
All right, should I hit the defense?
Yeah,
go for it. A little D, man.
All right, so basically their 2 main linebackers are Henry how do you say this? 202?
Toyo.
Okay. Toyo, which he played a lot last year. He was not as productive as I really wanted him to be. He had 3 double-digit tackle games, though. Played a lot of games where he's hitting over 90% of the snaps. So I think there's some upside there. Azeez Al-Shaair, who was really, really good last year. He missed few games. I think was it injury or was he the guy? He like hit somebody and
he got suspended.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's an asshole." Blah blah. Oh, it was Joe, wasn't it? The pretty guy. What's his name? The Jaguars.
Oh, Lawrence. I think it was Lawrence.
Yeah,
he
it
was
was.
sliding.
I just remember, and it was like, it was lame. But anyway, he's an amazing linebacker. He's the main guy on that team that I'm kind of interested from an IDP standpoint. And then I guess Will Anderson also on the team still, and they also who's their rookie this year? I forgot. Or maybe that was last year. It was Will Anderson. Will Anderson, I think he can get about 12 to 14 sacks if he can get a little more pressure on the line. But we'll just have to kind of see how that goes. And then Derek Stingley's their main cornerback. But I mean, if you're playing a cornerback specifically, I'm not opposed to reaching for him a little bit just because I think there's a little more interception upside from a guy like him. And then their main safety, why can't Petrie, that's it, yeah. Who had an incredible season.
And they got CJ.
He's kind of slowed down just a little bit, but still only 26 years old. So
they also got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from the Eagles this year too.
He's kind of been around the league now.
He's got 6 picks for the Eagles the last 2 years, and then obviously he got injured on the line, so he didn't really get a chance to do anything. I mean, he's startable.
Before that, wasn't he?
Yeah. He's a startable safety, man.
Yeah.
Dude, he hates the Eagles now. Whew.
Oh, yeah.
Does he?
Well,
that did not end well.
No, he was pissed for getting traded because he got traded
Eagles are kind of heartless.
They had to. They did it the last time they won the Super Bowl, and they didn't want to have the Super Bowl hangover again, and they went out and built what team that they could afford, young guys. What's what happens when you pay 4 stars? Take notes,
True.
Cincinnati.
You guys got lucky.
Yikes.
Chiefs showed up and played, unfortunately, their typical 2024 kind of football, which was not very good.
They shouldn't have been there in the first place.
And you're 100% right.
They should have played the Ravens or the Bills.
They were operating on the same operating system that Tom Brady was like those last 2 years he was with the Patriots. Where it was just like, we're putting them in the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. If there's a call, it's going their way. They're going to win by 1 score every game. It's going to be ugly. They're going to lose the whole time. That was literally their entire season.
Well, we were talking last week when we did the AFC West, where we were just like, I think Matt Nagy just doesn't want to have fun. He just would rather win by like the skin of his teeth rather than actually like win.
Throw the football and
throw the football, blow teams out. That's not fun.
I will say the first 3 games of the year, they were like, it was robotic. And then like that 4th game, it felt like Rashee Rice was like picking up and it was like, all right, like we've got a groove. And then he got hurt. And then it was literally back to, all right.
Mahomes had enough of that.
It was like, it was just like so shitty. It was like, my 2 football teams, okay, my real football teams, anybody that knows me, my actual football teams I like are the Steelers and the Chiefs. And it is not a very good time to be a fan of either of those teams. If you like
Aaron Rodgers,
if you like actual football, fuck Aaron Rodgers, fuck the Steelers. I mean, fuck all that noise, dude. I'm so
yikes.
It's tough.
Give
me Rudolph. That's my guy.
Wow, the red-nosed reindeer.
My guy.
Duck Dynasty.
Or Will Howard. Just give me anybody but Aaron fucking.
Don't worry,
Rodgers.
I think you'll see someone else too. So anyway, what's the over-under on the Texans?
3 plays into the game, you're gonna find out who your backup is.
No, straight up. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. The sooner he gets out of the way, the better for everybody.
Is he playing at MetLife this year, week 1? That'd be great.
I think they do open against the Jets. I think they do.
They don't.
You better run out with an American flag.
I know they play the Jets.
I know.
While we're looking that up,
we open against the Jets.
The Texans are 9.5.
9.5. So they actually start against the Rams.
Do they? Okay.
No, this is the Texans. Sorry, not the Steelers.
Okay.
No. I got confused there. All right, Rams, Buccaneers, Jaguars, Titans, Ravens, Seahawks, 49ers, Broncos, Jaguars, Titans, Bills, Colts, Chiefs, Cardinals, Raiders, Chargers, Colts.
Yeah, they got it. That's not a problem. They do open at MetLife, by the way.
They
Steelers
do.
open at
That
MetLife.
is
That's so
wild.
great.
Yeah.
That is
There it is.
wild.
It's over.
They did that shit on purpose too.
Oh yeah.
They stuck it in their little AI machine, and they said, we need Aaron because we're only going to get him for one game. We're going to get Aaron Rodgers for like 20 minutes. We need all the build up.
20 minutes.
All right. Anyway, back to the Texans. I think they smashed this over. This is the best team in the division.
It is, and their defense is legitimately like one of the best in the country.
insane.
Or in the
Could be the
league.
best in the league at the end of the year.
I think just defense alone. We'll have to see what the offense can put together, but the defense will keep them in every game.
Yeah, I felt like taking the under on that one. I feel like they might win 8 games.
That's fair.
I mean, a lot of those teams that in the years gone by that I would have said is maybe gimmies, or now I'm like, yeah, that's toss up or even going their way. Like I feel like they might have some trouble. Yeah, that's just how I kind of felt.
That's true. Okay, well, Jordan, we appreciate having you on tonight. I know you have to get out of here, so we will let you go, and we'll get to the other fun teams in this division. I think we've talked about the one good one.
That's not true. I got a fun one
coming. I would be happy to come back again in the future if you guys would have me. Just let me know if you need it, or you need a fill-in ever for somebody who needs a night off.
Verdict's still out there. We'll see how the numbers do on this one, and then we'll get back to you.
If you're good within an hour's notice, Josh will definitely be gone at some point, and we can.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's actually probably when you'll get me the best, because when I don't want to do things, when I have to dread them for a long time. So if you're just like,
That's
hey,
fair.
an hour, can you get on? I'll be like, sure.
I'm the complete opposite.
Hey,
I don't
Josh.
lead up to it.
It's like, hey, Josh just has a minor inconvenience. He can't be on the podcast tonight. Can you come on? We'll
Be like,
definitely
yep.
hit you up.
Sure thing. All right, well, thanks for having me on, guys. I can't wait to listen to this show.
For sure. All right.
Hey,
Thanks,
Jordan.
Jordan.
All right, now that he's gone, we can finally talk about him.
Okay. The next two teams are technically tied, so we're just gonna go with the Jags because I'd rather.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a fun one. I got the Jags, and so surprisingly enough, not a whole lot has changed on this team. Now we did lose Evan Ingram, and of course, the biggest question mark is Travis Hunter. A lot of other smaller acquisitions that will change here and there. A couple different players for the offensive line. De'Ami Brown, a couple defensive players. Nothing of super note outside of Travis Hunter. And that's the biggest question is, what is Travis Hunter? And for IDP people, we know that he's going to be playing on both sides of the ball, so we're super excited. We're drafting him early. I don't know what this is in the long run. I'm going to be honest with you. For Dynasty, I have no idea what you should do. You probably already drafted him. He's probably already on your team, and I hope you enjoy this preview because, honestly, it's going to be interesting. So, Brian Thomas, one of those guys who I do not want to draft. Wide receiver 7, first-round wide receiver. Now, he could completely do exactly what he did last year, but now we have another running mate on this team, really just another viable target. There wasn't one of these last year. We kind of had Evan Ingram half the year. Brian Thomas pretty much just feasted on everything that was available. Now, everyone sucked on this team except for Brian Thomas, including Trevor Lawrence. So tight end, wide receivers, all around trash, running backs, completely bad. I think you can chop that up to a really bad season all around. I think there's a lot of hate that's going to go on this team. Obviously, if Brian Thomas is not going to be an issue, like he's going to be a great wide receiver. I just personally, for the ADP, not loving it. If you love Brian Thomas, please go draft him. Do not want to tell you not to. But I think the real value here is in Travis Hunter, especially in redraft this year, going as wide receiver 32 in the 6th, 7th round. Wild to me that I'm assuming that we'll see a lot of a higher dip coming up for this, and I'm sure he's probably in different various settings going up higher and stuff. But I'm okay with grabbing Travis Hunter in the 5th round. I've got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. I'm slapping Travis Hunter as my flex play. I'm all about it. This could be super fun, even if you're not even playing for IDP. We don't know what this is going to be. It's going to be a huge question mark, obviously, but I think it will be a good decision at the end of the day. And then, honestly, there's some value outside of this. Brenton Strange, not a real person. Like, you don't have to draft him. If you want to, please feel free to have him a 3rd tight end on your team. De'Ami Brown, once again, not draftable as a wide receiver. But the running back side, you got Etienne and Tank Bigsby going at running back 33 and 39 around the same time, 94, 110. And then you got Byshawn Tutton way later. I think Etienne's gotten a terrible rap for this team. This whole team sucked last year. It was not Etienne's fault. He was averaging 3 yards per carry, but no one else was doing anything. Trevor Lawrence couldn't get the ball out to anyone besides anyone not named Brian Thomas. And then he got injured at the end of the year, and we got nothing coming out. So I think the Etienne thing is actually your steal at this point. I think I'm drafting Etienne everywhere I can get him, especially if I'm getting him in the 9th round, like 10th round in 10-man leagues. Listen, man, he was running back 3 2 years ago, and then he fell off this year. And it was actually similar yards per carry. He doesn't need to have big yards per carry because he'll break one out, and then he'll grind the little 1-2 yards. They did boost the interior of the offensive line. I think that should help as well. Tank Bigsby's fine as well if you feel like that's who you want. Either way, pick one of these running backs up because I feel like this team's going to be better than people think it is. So anyway, what do you guys think?
I mean, I'm in on the Jaguars more than I would like to be. The Brian Thomas ADP, I feel like I'm going to get sucked into it because, like, I just know how my draft luck is. I never get one of the first couple picks of the draft, so I'm always the guy that's at the end of the round, like maybe doing the 12, 13, or 11, and then the second pick. Like, I'm going to fall into the Brian Thomas trap. I'm in on him. And Travis Hunter has not scared me off from him. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm just in the tank for this team this year. No pun intended.
I don't think you have to be worried about that because, I mean, they have 213 vacated targets from last year, and they literally have Brenton Strange, Diami Brown, and Parker Washington to take that up. So, I do think, Josh, you're absolutely right, that Travis Hunter is where he's going right now is going to be a value because he's going to get a ton of targets. He's going to be playing wide receiver fairly heavily, I would imagine, with that type of workload missing. But Brian Thomas can do even more than he did last year with what's on the table. So they gave a shitload of money to Diami Brown for some reason.
I'm sure what that was about.
He was fine. But, I mean, honestly, if Hunter's going to be playing defense sparingly, we could see him in 2 wide receiver sets, and he could have a halfway decent season as a fill-in. Probably not drafting him, but just a guy to keep an eye on. And then I do think Brenton Strange is a good value where he's going at tight end as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a deep league or a tight end premium league, Brenton Strange could be a value because they loved Evan Ingram and they gave him lots of targets. And Brenton Strange had some good games out there. It's just more about consistency at that point. But I feel like most of these targets funnel through Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter, and it's going to be very interesting to watch. Little tidbit: Quintez Cephas, one of Josh's stands here. They have his little brother, Josh Cephas. Didn't even know that guy existed till today, and I'm pretty excited about it. Just kidding. He probably won't do anything. You can disregard that.
I feel like the Jags should go get Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah, or Michael Mayer.
Yeah. I just feel like Brenton Strange, it's fun. It's a cool name. We get it, but, let's be real. Let's wake up.
The problem with this team is it is a house of cards. You got 1 quarterback, 2 wide receivers, that's about it. And some running backs that are fine. You know what I mean? Like nothing wrong with them, but
yeah, I
don't love the lack of depth at wide receiver. If they were to lose a Brian Thomas or even Travis Hunter, it would just be devastating to this team. So on the defensive side of the ball, it's about the same. Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen, Hines Allen. Sorry. Trayvon Walker, man, he's gonna have a boost up. I think he's worth the draft pick this year. Foysad Olakun, obviously the best in the business when it comes to linebackers outside of Roquan. Joe, I don't want to do that. And then Devin Lloyd also still sucking up tackles at his age. So safeties, I don't love Darnell Savage and Eric Murray, but they should be able to get some points. The secondary is a little weak at the end of the day. Like they're going to get burnt. So there may be some tackles to sweep up there. But other than that, I'm not looking at a big interception guy on this team. But linebackers and Trayvon Walker all day. And Travis Hunter. I guess. Sorry, I got to mention Travis Hunter as the corner too, because
that's also true.
This is the biggest question mark of this team. It's going to be fun to watch at the very end of the day.
Now, if you're in redraft with IDP spots, normal scoring, where does Travis Hunter go in that setup?
Do you get offensive points for him?
Yeah, normal scoring.
Oh,
you can start him at
gotcha.
DB.
Probably like 3rd, 4th round. Once IDP players start going off the board, I think he's one of the top 5 at that point.
Yeah, I would say 3rd round. I'd almost want to get in front of it.
It depends on the scoring. That would be my
Joe. You're going to have him in Sheba. I'm just going to be honest with you. I know you probably don't know it right now because the draft's still like 2 weeks away. You're going to draft Travis Hunter. I just see it coming from a mile away. You and
Josh
your
already
rookies,
said he wasn't
like,
getting normal points.
We're gonna have to vote. We're gonna have to vote on the scoring of him.
But you're right. I will have him.
okay. He's not gonna do that much to where we're gonna have to adjust the scoring.
It's a team decision. We'll get there.
Okay, fair enough. I just changing the whole rules for one player is just like wild. But all right,
I don't know if you can. ESPN's is not really the most like editable system.
That's true. It's pretty set in stone. I don't know if this is breaking news. I feel like we should at least mention it. Von Miller is getting signed by the Washington Commanders for 1 year. That just got announced.
They needed it.
I was wondering when Vaughn would fall. I'm glad he did.
He's only playing like 3 games the whole season. Like
it's a rotational piece, man, and he still got it. So
I just like, I don't know. I guess we'll see. He didn't really do that much for the Bills. So that would make me concerned. All right, the over-under
entirety of their defensive line. So
that's true. And then they went out and got a guy that's multiple years older than us to play. So I guess that makes sense. All right, Jags are 7.5.
All right, the Jags get the Panthers, the Bengals, the Texans, the 49ers, the Chiefs, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Raiders, the Texans, the Chargers, the Cardinals, the Titans, the Colts, the Jets, the Broncos, the Colts, and the Titans. Easy.
I'm not feeling as confident after hearing that schedule.
I don't really know because I don't know how good this team's going to be. Like some of those games, I'm like, Jags could probably win that. But then there's other ones where I'm like, well, they're not that good. Like they probably could. I feel like I'm going to go over. 8 and 9 is not weird. Like that's not a weird thing for this team. So I'm going to go over.
I think I'm going to go under. I didn't know they're over under, and I didn't know their schedule. I have high hopes for this team, and I'd love to see it happen. But there's just too little pieces on this team where I feel comfortable with it. And Travis Hunter really has to hit on both sides of the ball.
They're going to be exciting, though.
It will be a fun team to watch.
It will be fun to watch.
That part is true. See, they're a team that I'm like, man, I kind of hope they sneak into the playoffs. I do think this would be an interesting out for a team, especially if Travis Hunter hits. Joe, Colts, wrap us up.
The Colts. Let me make a note real quick. All right. So with the Colts, we're going to start with the offensive line because they lost 2 of their best interior in Kelly and Fries. They are now with the Vikings. Just a quick note on the offensive line. Brings us to Anthony Richardson and Indiana Daniel Jones. These two are an absolute walking injury report. We already saw that Anthony Richardson's shoulder, he's struggling with it. He went to go see if he needed surgery on it. They said no. They said he will be ready for camp. And we saw Daniel Jones impress through OTAs with no defense at all. So take with that what you will. This is really going to come down to the egos of the front offices versus the job security of the coaches. I don't know. They just spent a 4th-round pick on Anthony Richardson. I think everything is going to be put in his favor to actually take the reins of this offense. But, of course, if he does stumble, it will be Daniel Jones. Anthony Richardson's going to QB 29, and Daniel Jones is going to QB 32. I'll make this really simple for you. You're not drafting him as your starting quarterback. If you're in a 2-quarterback league, take Anthony Richardson as your 3rd quarterback because his rushing upside could absolutely pay off later in the season. You can just drop him if he's not bent or if he's not playing. You could pick up Daniel Jones. He'll probably go undrafted at some point too. But I'm not excited for either of these guys other than we know what Anthony Richardson could be. We've seen it on occasion. So, there is upside there. Take him as your 3rd quarterback. Or if you're in a 1-quarterback league, you can take him real late. Just drop him and play the waiver wire. Otherwise, don't expect much from those two. The real guy on this team you want to look at is Jonathan Taylor. He's going as RB8, 19 overall. If he's healthy, he's going to give you 1,600 total yards, 12 touchdowns. He has top 5 running back appeal. This offense is absolutely going to have to run through this guy. So I love getting some Jonathan Taylor here. Might be his best season yet with the amount that they're going to have to use him on this team. They did draft DJ Giddens from Kansas State. He averaged 6.0 yards per carry there, and he's a pretty good receiver. He was a 5th-round selection. Not explosive, but he definitely has more juice than Khalil Herbert. So I think going into the season, Khalil Herbert's going to start as your backup. DJ Higgins is going to get on the field pretty quickly, though. So I don't expect either of them to make much of an impact. That could change, but Jonathan Taylor is definitely your number one there. And the wide receivers, we got Michael Pittman, played through a broken back last year. The problem with Michael Pittman is he's kind of a short intermediate wide receiver, but he needs the yards after the catch. He couldn't do that with the back injury. And Anthony Richardson tries to push the ball downfield, which actually hurts Michael Pittman. We love the talent of Michael Pittman. I think he's going to wide receiver 51. He's going to be fine, especially if he's healthy, but it's hard to get excited about Michael Pittman this year. If you need a wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3, not a bad option. Josh Downs, he's the best separator on the team, but he's also a short yardage guy. I'm really worried that Tyler Warren will take away from Josh Downs this year, especially if a guy like Daniel Jones is the quarterback, because we've seen him. We saw it with Wandale. He's going to have 10 catches for 38 yards. That's great, but if you add Tyler Warren there, who just had 104 receptions last year in college football, then I think we could have a problem here. So Josh Downs is going to wide receiver 47. I'm not the biggest fan on Josh Downs this year. I know a lot of people are. I love the talent. It's hard to get excited about this offense. And then you have Alec Pierce, who led this team in receiving last year. He's currently going as wide receiver 73. Alec Pierce, the deep ball machine. I don't know what you do with it. If it's Richardson, you could get him in a deep league. He's good in a best ball, but that's about it. A.D. Mitchell is going to remain on the bench at least until Alec Pierce is a free agent next year. I can't imagine they bring him back for that much money. And really, the only other guy outside of Jonathan Taylor I'm interested in is Tyler Warren. He's going to tight end 10. We already talked about the short yardage stuff. I don't think he's going to be Brock Bowers or Laporta, but asking Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson to throw it to Tyler Warren is going to be the easiest thing that they can ask him. So I think he can easily have a top 8 season. So at tight end 10, he could easily be a top 8, top 5 kind of guy at the end of the year. What do you guys think?
You forgot to mention Laquan Treadwell on this team, buried in the depths. No, I'm kidding. I think you pretty much nailed it, honestly. Jonathan Taylor's the GOAT on this team. I feel like Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson are the same guy. So I feel like the good news is whether or not one of them gets injured or they have to swap, it doesn't really change much. Like, obviously Richardson has a little bit more speed outside of Daniel Jones, but we've seen Daniel Jones as a mobile quarterback the last few years in the New York. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not great, but it's at least they're similar to where the offense won't have to change.
Yeah.
Albert O also buried on the step chart. The once
Top 5 tight end.
Top 5 tight end Albert O still on this team too. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're gonna clean house after this season. I think the coaching staff's gone. I think Chris Ballard stays, even though I'm like, he built a good team once upon a time. It's been a long time since we've seen that good team. So I just feel like this might be sweep everyone out.
Yeah, Andrew Luck retiring just really flushed this team.
It really did.
Yeah. OC Jim Bob Cooter, man, you got to watch out for him. Great offensive coordinator.
I just feel like Jim Bob Cooter is like, that's like one of the last trumpets, like the Angels before the end of the world. Like Jim Bob Cooter being on the offensive coaching staff is kind of one of those last signs that, okay, well, the world's going to come crashing down now. Yeah. I don't want anybody on this team. Maybe Josh Downs. That's it. I don't know. Not a Colts guy.
I love Josh Downs. When you dive into it and you look at what Tyler Warren is, and you're just kind of like,
yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that.
I just feel like next year I would love to take Tyler Warren. This year, I feel like I'm taking him.
I mean, we just watched Brock Bowers do it with a worse quarterback. I mean, or at least
Brock Bowers is better than Tyler Warren, factually.
I never said that he wasn't, but I'm just saying you see
a
tight end like that do it with a bad tight end. When you don't let me finish sentences, that's what happens, man. We see Brock Bowers do it with a shitty quarterback. There's hope that another good tight end can do that as well. Never said he was on the same level, man. Calm down. Take a breath. Take a breath.
I didn't say he did.
You can see his face.
You said we just saw Brock
his
Bowers.
His face is all red. He's flustered now.
Dude, flustered, man.
I just feel like Tyler Warren, you're overdrafting him this year, and you're going to get a good value on him next season. Like
I agree with I agree
an
with Joe.
actual
The whole, it's not Laporta, it's not Bowers, but it's still going to be a good rookie showing for him. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Dump off specialist.
Hope so. You doing
Under.
Defense.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Defense. They got a new defensive coordinator with Lou.
Hold down,
Anarum.
Josh. Let him finish the team, Josh. Go, Joe.
Fuck both of you guys. New DC Lou Anamarumu. I don't know how to say his name, but he came over from the Bengals. This defense, they missed 170 tackles last year. They blitzed at a very low rate. So at least we're probably going to see the blitz rate come up, and they're going to play more man defense. So I don't think the defense is going to change that much, but hopefully we get some more blitzes for these guys. We got Kwity Paye. He's going to his defensive end, 32. Second season in a row with 8 sacks or more. He might see some more playing time with Deo gone, and he's going into a contract year, so he's got to bring it because they just drafted JT Tuilamalulalu. I don't know how to say his name, from Ohio State. They got him in the second round. He could kind of eat into playing time if Kwity Paye is not showing it, but I would bet that Kwity Paye is ready to ball out this season, so don't hate the value there.
So, man. Dude, I've been waiting for Kwity Paye for like 5 years.
Me too. It's got to happen.
Like a slow burn with Brian Burns, too. He had a pretty rough start to his career. I'd love to see Kwity Paye kind of follow that trajectory.
It'd be great. We got DeForest Buckner. He missed 5 games last year, but he was on his way to another awesome defensive tackle season. So DT1 currently, take him. He's awesome. Leatu Letu played only over 70% of the snaps once in 2024. I guarantee that changes this year, so his arrow is pointing up. Zaire Franklin, everyone knows him. Everyone loves him. Number 1 overall. He is a tackling machine. He has not had less than 165 tackles in the last 3 seasons. So surefire stud, safe pick. Love it. The interesting thing is, what is the running mate going to look like? Currently, I think it's Jalen Carlise. He's going at linebacker 54. We just saw EJ Speed rack up 142 tackles next to Zaire Franklin in this role. If we can get that to a guy that has a cornerback designation, I'm looking at you, sleeper folks, that's going to be awesome. And we should be trying to get the Travis Hunter of the defensive side of the football, the linebacker Travis Hunter, if you will. So I like getting Jalen Carlise. There is a chance. They just brought a kid over from Cincinnati that has familiarity with the system. We know Carlise hasn't been the beacon of health in his career this far, so there's a chance that he does not take that role by the end of the year, but I'm betting on he will right now. They made a free agency acquisition of Charvarius Ward and Cam Bynum. Ward's going to be awesome. He's going to give you a lockdown corner on the outside. Cam Bynum, I'd expect a similar role. I mean, Flores was aggressive as hell with Bynum, so I like that. I don't think we're going to see that as much in Indy, but he's probably going to still get the tackle floor that he brought. Kenny Moore should be fine. I'm interested to see where he fits into this new defense. And then Nick Cross, safety 18. I am never going to forgive him for injuring Josh Downs in training camp when they were not even allowing tackling, causing him to miss the first 2 games of the season. But otherwise, I will give him that he had 146 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 6 tackles for loss. He is a stud at safety. So be sure to draft him, especially at safety 18.
Do what Joe said.
So what do you think that they saw in Lou Anarumo's performance with the Bengals these past 5 years and was like, you know what? I think we need to bring that into the team.
Couldn't tell you.
Like, what in the hell? Like, this makes me feel even more that they're just like, well, this year we're just going to probably just fold up shop. This will be it for this.
You said brought him in from the Bengals, and I was just like, okay. From their defense? Was he an offensive coordinator? Because if so, sure. Rather have that.
Well, everyone's really pumped on what he did against Patrick Mahomes when they were in the Super Bowl. And was it the Super Bowl? No, AFC Championship game when he essentially shut down Patrick Mahomes
3 years ago.
And yeah, in 2021, they're still riding him for that. So
got it.
Yep.
I mean, it's really not his fault. The whole team is walked because they decided to pay Burrow and Chase and Higgins all in the same 2 years, but could have done it a little bit better. But
the thing is, though, if you're going to build your team around that, then you have to have a defense that's like not going to completely be terrible. And they are real bad.
They are.
They weren't terrible until they let Jesse Bates just walk, and then that caused this whole downfall.
They've been pretty terrible. Joe Burrow was slinging it for 40 points a game and still losing games. Like, it's wild.
No, last year they sucked, but I don't know. I'm not too excited about that, but I love the players on this defense. They're going to have a stud of a defense if he can get it together.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens when you put a talented team with a untalented coordinator that did it once, that just tripped into
one game.
I mean, I guess
look at every Chicago Bears season since 1986.
Hey, if the schedule, I heard some Chiefs playing this division, so hopefully the Chiefs are playing against Indy. Maybe that's why they hired him. That one game, they're going to win.
You can shut them down on November 23rd.
It's like their Super Bowl. I mean, technically, I guess he could take credit for Trey Hendrickson leading the league in sacks. I mean, be like, look, I did that. That was all me. So, I don't know. Okay, it's 7.5. It's the same as the Jaguars.
That's wild, by the way.
Yeah. Dolphins, Broncos, Titans, Rams, Raiders, Cardinals, Chargers, Titans, Steelers, Falcons, Chiefs, Texans, Jaguars, Seahawks, 49ers, Jaguars, Texans.
So I want to go back and change my Jaguars over or under back to over, because now that I'm looking at this having the same, like, this is absolutely an under. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
I'd love to see JT get 2,000 yards and carry this team to victory, but I just, at the end of the day, I don't even trust Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson not to throw that away.
It would be epic if we actually saw the Anthony Richardson breakout this year.
Will be cool. I think that's probably why they got it.
I just want to say, here's the caveat. Jim Irsay died. So is this one of those, like, reversal of fortune things? Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, do it for Jim. We're going to have this crazy season, and they go on some kind of, like, Cinderella run. I don't know. Like, I don't know. That could bring good karma. Like,
also, like, the NFL, if the NFL is rigged, they could rig it to where the Colts get further than they should.
The storyline would be perfect. I'm sure the scriptwriters are salivating over this, especially with, like, the Pacers got to the NBA finals, and now, like, the Colts, potentially they go on.
Caitlin Clark, Indy's on the map.
Yep, Caitlin Clark's there. Indy's having a moment.
Indy's the new Midwest city to be.
You know what? Maybe this isn't over. Maybe this is like one of those weird.
Do not talk yourself into it. This is 5 wins.
The only thing I'm talking myself into is conspiracy theories, Josh, and we've seen them.
I do
all
love
over
me
the
some
place.
Conspiracy theories. Go ahead and just.
This would be the most conspiracy theory tinfoil hat shit ever. This right here, and it's just staring us in the face that this could happen. So I don't know. I'm still going to be under, because I think all of the math, like just looking at it, leads to that. But there is a chance
the math,
non-math, that the heart or whatever they want to call it. Yeah, I don't know. Something to remember there. All right. Well, I think we pretty much easily have the Texans winning this division. They're going to be the four seed in the. But they don't have home. Didn't they change the rules this year where, like, if you have a worse record than somebody, like, they get home field? Can't remember how that worked, but this could be the first time. This could be the first team that we get to see use that. If that happened, maybe it didn't. I don't know. It's been a long day. All right, that was the AFC South. We have one division left of team previews, the AFC East. I cannot believe that we have gone through all 8 divisions, or 7 of the 8 divisions so far. How you guys feeling? Season's almost here. 50 days until kickoff.
I'm so ready, dude. I'm already sitting here dreaming about our fantasy football drafts, man.
15 days from now, they play actual football.
Mm-hmm. Not even 50 days. I think it's 50 days today, or maybe it was 50 days yesterday.
No, it's 50 days today, and it's 15 till the Hall of Fame game.
And that's the next time we get to see the Eagles play.
They're in the Hall of Fame game?
No, sorry, I was talking about 50.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, they usually pick like shit teams for this. That's wild. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Well, we will be back next week. We'll see who's here. Don't know, because I think Joe's taking off potentially.
Most likely.
So
I'll figure it out. It's fine. AFC East all day.
Fair enough. So we might have another guest come on the pod. So we'll see. We'll let y'all know next week. Joe.
Draft Travion Henderson. That's all I got to say on this podcast.
No, we're going to have Quinshon Judkins come on. defend his case.
Yeah, he can help host. Honestly, none of the second round picks have signed their deals other than
Wild.
2.
So
I
the
mean,
Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns, isn't it? It's the 2 that have signed, and they got fully guaranteed.
No, because Browns is Quinshawn, and he's not signed.
They had 2 second rounders, Swearinger.
Oh, well, maybe there's 3 because I saw it was a 49er named Alfred Collins signed today.
Okay, I know that 2 signed fully guaranteed deals, and
because Jaden Higgins, it was Higgins for the.
I mean, it's 14. It's 14 mil. Like at the end of the day,
I don't understand why this is such a big deal. Just pay them.
Yeah, because the millionaires out there, the billionaires.
Well, they want fully guaranteed contracts. That's the thing, because they don't get,
and they should get it.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. I'm just saying that's the problem. That's where they're. That's what the problem is here. But whatever.
Yeah, I want to see Andrew Makuba in an Eagles uniform. So figure this out, guys.
I want to see Luther Burden, man. Come on.
Nah, that's fine. I don't need him.
Let's get to it.
Nah.
All right, Joe, get us out of here.
Good night.